This year's been hard for the country, but people have been not really that affected. I mean, because I used to work speaking to a lot of rural people, and people have said we're not really being that affected by coronavirus. But one of the things I think it's getting to people now, we also always live remotely. You rarely see a lot of people on a week-to-week basis, but it's getting now, isn't it, that people are sort of coming to winter, being left on your own for that length of time.
It's good. Before this last lockdown, I had 2 days loading on a big shoot.
Loading,
I really enjoyed that. Yeah, stuffing or minding. It's rich Americans that shoot at them mainly, so keep an eye on them more than
putting cartridges in guns. Just in case people need to know. Yeah.
No, don't shoot. No, that's a sparrow. Yeah, no.
People that I've been shooting with a few people, and it is amazing what people just. I think people just assume that we go out to the countryside and shoot anything that moves.
I know. I think we were talking up there amongst some of the loaders and the gamekeepers that in Europe you have to pass a test. To be able to be safe with the gun, to know what your prey is, to don't shoot if the background's wrong or too low, and things like this, and just to know a difference between a sparrowhawk and a cuckoo sort of thing. Because I got no idea, absolutely no idea.
Well, they've changed only this morning, actually. I went to give my renewal for my shotgun and my firearms certificates, and now you have to have a GP test over here.
That's right, yes.
That's the first. I think I didn't do it last time, I don't think. I had a guy come round, and I think he may have checked.
Next time when mine comes up for renewal. Do they charge £30 or something for doing it?
I've not heard of it. I mean, I didn't pay anything. I don't know if that means I'll have to pay it when I go and pick it up.
It's funny, really, because I look at the people I shoot with, the farmers, and they've never been a problem, and they are never ever going to be a problem, because they sort of tend to be sensible sort of people. There's only one guy in my life I would have said he should never have had a shotgun certificate. He's dead now, and. But
we had a few problems at university with people who shouldn't have had one, but actually they didn't have one. They were supervised by people at the playground, but actually they didn't have one. So I don't know if they ever applied. But yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, this country. I mean, we don't. Everyone around here kind of has one, but nobody really uses it. For
in my lifetime, how things have changed. I'm 71 now. When I was 13, I saved up all my beating and potato picking money, and I went into Venables shop in St Aldits in Oxford, and I bought a bolt action 410 for £12.
Beating
wrapped it in brown paper and came home on the bus. And I was away. And in every farmhouse you had a shotgun propped up in the corner, and the kids were told, touch that and you get thrashed. So, Payne's a good teacher, they never did. Yeah. And you were brought up with it. We started with air guns and stuff, and went on to 410s and then on to other things. But
so we should say, for people who don't know, 410's a calibre of shotgun.
It's about a quarter the size of a 12-bore, I suppose.
And beating as well, just in case people don't know, is you go out and you push birds up for people who pay to come and shoot birds.
And but my son, who's now 29, he took over this 410, and he wanted to get to 100 rabbits before his 11th birthday, and it was the night before, and he was on 97. He logged everyone. Anyway, we went out that night and he got 7.
He made it.
So he got there. But
that's a lot of. You sell them to restaurants, otherwise that's a lot of rabbit for the next couple of weeks. Right,
patio,
I like rabbit though. Rabbit's a good meat to have.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't, we have a lot of wild meats around here, and I'm not a massive fan of pigeon, because it's too dark. But I do like rabbit.
I was brought up on pigeon.
Yeah, there's enough around at the minute. If you want to get pie.
My dad, he wasn't really a sporting farmer at all. There was a lot of white clover grown in those days, and if he got a flock of pigeons grazing across it, he would crawl up the hedge. He had a single barrel 12-bore, and he would wait till there was a bunch of them together and let drive. And if he got less than 5 with one shot, he thought that was a bad go. All on the ground, yeah.
But in those days, I mean, I've read accounts of history stuff from Blenheim Palace actually, and in places like Australia, and punt guns in somewhere else. Where's that place where they invented that duck trap? That was not far from here.
There's one at Borstal in Oxfordshire.
Borstal, yeah. A few of these places.
They used to go punt gunning, didn't they?
Yeah, and the ridiculous amount. There was stories. They show you this.
A quarter of a pound of shot out at one go.
Yeah, and they'd shoot 200 birds, 200 duck at one go, and it was awful. I mean, imagine the amount of lead going out of that thing in those days in the 1800s.
You imagine how cold it was. You got like 2 ping pong bats. You're lying on your belly in the bottom of this punt, and then something goes wrong. You're just about to pull the rope that fires the trigger, and they get up and fly away.
Yeah,
and you've got nothing to eat and nothing to sell.
I suppose, I mean, it's worth the risk. The meat in those days, 1800s meat would have been easy.
Did make a living at it.
But yeah, I remember seeing, because at Blenheim, they said they had something there which said they were, they'd have rabbit days. They go out and shoot like 3,000 rabbits.
You see, the keepers would be up all night stopping them out.
Yeah, that's
so
mad.
They couldn't get to
you couldn't even, I can't even imagine that. I mean, obviously,
before
around here.
myxomatosis, of course, the rabbits, they were massive. They were everywhere. They were absolute pests. But people made a living, didn't they, through the war? Just rabbit catchers.
Everyone in the countryside's got anyone over the age of 50 in the country has got stories of old boys who used to go out and catch rabbits for
and
snares.
Different methods of doing it. Yeah, because the skins were valuable as well. And it kept people going through the war. Country people were absolutely good. You put them on a train to London and a butcher a bit at the other end. Then soon have them skinned and in the pot.
Yeah.
And it was a pest control job. I was talking to one guy at, it's called Warren Farm at Ano, and we were over there crop judging, and he said there was a wood, and he said after myxomatosis came and wiped the rabbits out, he said we combined another 11 acres of wheat in this field, but we never did before. You can tell, with a name like Warren Farm, it's on sandy ground.
Yeah.
And it was a never-ending job trying to control the rabbits.